Well, Brian, you're talking about that gentleman that had the shoulder thing, in that inspiring story. I personally think your story is inspiring with everything that's happened. Can I share?
Go ahead.
Brian's son several years back actually passed while swimming at Sand Hollow Reservoir, and so swimming out there has been kind of a hurdle in your life, kind of being able to.
I'd say a mountain.
A mountain.
Yeah.
Yep. And getting the triathlons and training and swimming out at Sand Hollow has been a huge step for him to be able to. I don't know. How would you explain it?
How to overcome that.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, Andrew Lindstrom, and I don't know why he didn't do Ironman this year. I can't figure that one out, but he's doing it next year.
Yeah.
Great athlete and a good friend. I'd go out there with the tri group to train and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get our wetsuits on and everything, and he'd see me, and I'd be going back and forth along the shoreline, 15 feet off the shoreline, because I'd go out and I'd get not even quite close to the first buoy, and then the mind would start spinning.
Yeah.
Thoughts would start rolling through my head, and I would literally just panic.
Yeah.
Hyperventilate. Stroke would just be all
kind of like a mini anxiety attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I'd just go back to the shoreline, and I'd go back and forth. I'd come up with some lame excuse, new goggles, new wetsuit, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I had never told anyone, why I was, just hugging the shoreline.
Yeah.
Basically get some time in the water, but it was really not. It was beneficial, obviously, but nothing too. It didn't give me, true time into the water, being out into the outer.
Into the water.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It was one guy that really helped me, Rob Gray. He literally,
such a nice guy.
Literally took me by the hand and took me out there and was willing to do anything he could do to get me through this. It was last season before was it St. George Try, or was it? No, it was before the Summer Games Try. And we were out there for a training session, and I froze. Not just mentally. I could not. I'm standing waist deep in water, and I couldn't move. I could not get past this mental block. And I don't know if it was divine intervention. I know what it was, and I know exactly what it was that carried me through the next week, because the next week was the try. I showed up, and I went through it.
Yeah.
I went through it. And ever since then, I still have trouble out there with training sessions. Right?
Yeah.
Because you're kind of a little bit more solitary. Mm-hmm. You're not really so focused on, like you said, bodies banging against you, and you're just trying to fight to get some open space so you can get your stroke in. So the training sessions still are challenging for me. But I've overcome that through the help of a lot of people, yourself. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And where I've overcome that hurdle, and I've been very blessed to have a lot of opportunities such as this to share that experience, where if someone can look and see where that experience that I've gone through, I'm able to overcome that hurdle. Maybe somebody can look at that and say, dang, if that guy can do it, I can overcome my challenges. And so if I can use that story as inspiration for somebody, that's really my purpose in this sport right now.
Yeah, and that's the point I was trying to make. You're sharing that story about that guy that was physically, having a hard time.
Right.
But there's, like you were talking about before, there's a big mental game going on.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of mental game going on for different people. But for you, looking at it from the outside, what a hurdle to overcome. And my hat goes off to you for being able to overcome that and complete this Ironman and go for it.
Yesterday, still kind of pinching myself. I did what?
Yeah.
I did an Ironman.
And that's an example of how they could be emotional and even spiritual challenges for you out there, which we're going through.